Breaking news, a police pursuit is going on right now. Let's get right up to Stu Mundell live in Sky 2 in La Mirada. Stu.
Well, Pat, we're actually going to be in the Norwalk area. That car that you see right there, I'm going to work with my pilot, Jake, this evening. There's no pursuit right now. That's the problem. And my pilot having a little difficulty finding this on the ground. That red Mustang you see right there in the center of the screen. Now, that car was in pursuit, extremely high speeds on the 5 freeway for quite some time. A narcotic suspect, an armed narcotic suspect, undercover units from the LAPD were chasing this car for quite some time on the freeway. But because of the high speeds, the dangerousness of that vehicle, and the fact that they didn't have any backup, they basically, and no airship for that matter as well, they basically let this thing go. Right now, though, we're still got eyes on it. I'm not sure if any law enforcement is watching this right now. We'll get some locations here shortly, but that vehicle now driving, let's just say relatively normal, but we do know that's a narcotic suspect inside that car that is armed. Earlier on, they were in high-speed pursuit on the 5 freeway.
Yeah, well, from what we understand, this vehicle was also on the 710, Stu, if that's correct?
Pat, I'm sorry, I did not hear that question.
Well, you know what? Someone either left this vehicle and they're running.
Yeah, somebody, the passenger just got out and ran. Now this is going to be a tough one. Do we follow that guy or do we follow the car? But right now I can tell you that no law enforcement is in the area. That Mustang now making a U-turn. So the driver's usually the one that they want. So that's going to be a tough call right there. The car's still continuing on after making that U-turn. I'm not sure if he has any idea that there's anybody watching him right now. Again, I got to work on these streets. Sorry about that. But no law enforcement behind it. And as I understand it, there may be a helicopter, law enforcement helicopter getting up overhead here in just a moment. And if that happens, this might turn into a pursuit again.
Yeah, because it's interesting, Stu, as soon as we went on the air with you, you said this red Mustang started driving at normal rates of speed. We just saw someone get out. Seems like he's going he's picking it up a little bit here.
Hang on.
All right, well, Stu is trying to get some information for us, I'm sure, some streets, some whereabouts, but as he mentioned when we went on the air, this was a high-speed pursuit with this red Mustang, an armed suspect, according to LAPD, inside. We just saw this vehicle about 2 minutes ago stop at a red light. A passenger got out of the car, started running. This red Mustang made a U-turn on a street that Stu Mundell is trying to find out for us right now, and is driving through Norwalk. LAPD backed off in terms of following him on the street, but they have a chopper overhead, and of course our Stu Mundell is on it, and we're actually waiting to see if this is going to turn into a pursuit once again. But okay, Stu, are you back on the air?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry about all that. Now I actually can hear you loud and clear too, Pat. Now that's going to be the Sheriff's Department. They are overhead, and they do have the lights on it, and they are going to track it at least right now. The Sheriff's Department, they have a little bit of a different policy on how they handle these pursuits. So we're going to kind of watch and see. But right now, they definitely want to bring this thing to an end. They want this car to pull over. We did see that person get out earlier on. That's going to be one of those weird points because we're not sure. Was the passenger the person that they wanted, or was the driver? Well, the driver's the one that's committing most of the crimes right now, so they're definitely going to want to pull this person over. That light you're seeing right there, that's going to be from the sheriff's helicopter. I can tell you we're going to start, I was hoping we were going to get back onto the freeway. Running a red light right there, close call for that person just getting off the freeway. Now this Mustang, I'm not sure what kind it is, but I can tell you it's very fast. I can tell you it's a very fast Mustang, that is for sure. Earlier on the freeway, this thing was moving so quickly we're having a little trouble in Sky 2 just trying to catch up. Right now though, we've been just kind of making big circles out here, major streets out here in the Norwalk area. As soon as we get one of those street names, I'm going to holler it out. I can guarantee that to you, but you can see this vehicle now using center lanes, getting a little bit more aggressive in its driving. Sheriff's Department, they're overhead. They're going to be going into tracking mode here shortly, but that doesn't mean that the ground units might not rejoin this chase. Yeah,
you know what, Stu, we just saw another close call there. That's 2 that I've counted so far since we have been on this. I'm going to call it a chase. As you mentioned, you don't see any LAPD behind this vehicle anymore?
None. None whatsoever, and I believe that we're on Rosecrans. That's going to be the street. Finally, I'm getting some names for you. Sorry about all that. Norwalk area, extremely high speeds, and you can see this vehicle trying to basically get away, but the only person he's trying to get away from are the lights of that helicopter above. Right now, though, no ground units are on it, but this vehicle's now starting to drive a little bit slower. He might be in an area that he knows. He kind of drove to the Norwalk area, dropped that person off. We saw him walking around there. He actually just got out and started using a pedestrian walk. But right now, it's a residential area. These speeds a little too high for that type of situation. Don't know if he's going to want to leave that car. If it's his, that's going to be a tough one too. And then they'll know who he is. Right now, lights above, that's going to be the sheriff's department. This pursuit continues out here in the Norwalk area.
Yeah, it does too, but you know what? It seems like this person is in a more residential area right now. The streets are getting a little more narrow. We've seen him make a number of turns. I don't know, from my vantage point, it almost looked like he was going in circles or he had traversed over an area that he had been before. Now he's going to make another right turn. Stu?
Making another, yeah, go ahead, Pat.
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt you there, but just to make sure about what we're talking about here, we said possible armed suspect. Did I hear narcotics earlier? Did I hear that?
That's exactly what you heard. It was an armed narcotics suspect. That's what they were talking about earlier on. Making a turn now onto Bellflower, center lane. That helicopter's keeping the lights on it. They're trying to get other units on the ground in position, but this vehicle keeps moving, and pretty sure soon we're going to start seeing some ground coverage down here, and hopefully, you know, I'm not sure. This guy doesn't seem like he's going to pull over. What his plan is right now, except for running red lights and putting other people in danger, like another one right there. That's the only thing he's been doing this entire time. That Mustang, very, very quick. Right now, though, he's actually kind of being tame with it. On the freeway, he was going over 100 miles an hour for some time and weaving in and out of traffic. The one unit that was behind it, an undercover, cutting that guy off, that undercover car couldn't even keep up. Now that he's on surface streets, things are a little different, but all those red lights, you just got to worry if he just keeps running them. High speeds or not, if he gets into an accident, it could be pretty dangerous. It could be pretty bad just in general.
Yeah, Stu, do you have a location for us? Well, another close call there.
I don't right now. We're on, the last thing that I saw, we're northbound on Bellflower. We're just getting north of the 105 freeway. So we're probably getting into the Downey area right now. If he stays on this road, they kind of slowed down for that intersection right there. I can try to get you some cross streets, but I know we're northbound on Bellflower right now.
Okay, northbound on Bellflower. Sheriff's airship overhead, no units on the ground. You mentioned the 5 freeway. I thought he was on the 710 freeway as well. Is that correct? Has he traversed, do we know, a couple of freeways?
He started out on the streets in the East LA area, or close to the East LA area, went through East LA, got on the 710 to the 5 south to where he got off. We've been staying on Bellflower, and I believe we've just made that transition. We may be on Firestone right now. Again, I've just got to catch up here. But we may be on Firestone as we're continuing north-ish. This vehicle moving just at high speeds. The sheriff's ship above, they're keeping an eye on it. They're talking to the ground units, but nobody's behind it yet. So officially, it's just kind of a tracking situation.
You know, Stu, is it too early to find out what happened if they picked that passenger and up? Are you hearing anything on the scanner, that guy that got out of that vehicle about 10 minutes ago?
I am not hearing anything at all about that person that he dropped off right now. That their concern is that driver. You know, that's the thing. In the beginning, we don't know. The passenger might have been the person that they wanted. Right now, though, that Mustang continuing to drive.
Looks like a parking lot.
Went through a big parking lot right there in one of those old McDonald's. So I would say we're in the Downey area right now. We'll get some streets here once again.
Okay, Stu, so far we've got this pursuit starting on the east side of Los Angeles. He's driven through La Mirada, Norwalk. Now the Downey area. There was a passenger in that vehicle that jumped out, I would say about 10 minutes ago, took off running. We don't know what happened to him. And as Stu mentioned, not exactly sure if he was also a person of interest, but for sure they want to get this driver, because since we've been on the air, we have seen him drive, and I'm assuming it's a he, at high rates of speed, making some erratic turns there, some pretty close calls. Notice now he's back. He made another turn, Stu, and I can't tell for sure if he's sort of going in circles or if he's covered this area before.
He hasn't covered this street, I can tell you that. He's just kind of working his way directly underneath us right now. This vehicle just continues just to move. It was on a street called Pacific, and now he's back into a residential neighborhood right there. Does seem like the lights are going off, maybe an alleyway. Westbound 7th Street is the last words, and now we're in the city of Downey. This looks like an alleyway, so sometimes when we see that, this looks like we're going to come, it may be coming to an end. In this case, this guy's going to keep on going. This is one of those ones, the vehicle probably not stolen. The reason I bring that up is because that registration is going to come back to the driver. So all this maneuvering, all this driving around, all these chances he's taking, eventually this is probably a known suspect. And so the sheriff's department, they understand that as well. So they're going to keep that light on him, but they're going to try not to put the public at risk. Right now, though, it does seem like he's in a neighborhood where he's just making odd decisions. That U-turn that he made right there in that intersection, he might not know where he's going. We'll get you some streets here again. Here we go, another car right there. But we're definitely back into the Downey area, eastbound on 5th Street out here in the Downey area.
You know, as you mentioned, Stu, you're right about that. They're not behind him because they probably ran these plates and they could know who this guy is. And for that matter, they're following him overhead. But knowing that there could be ground units at the ready that will be able to pick this guy up if he decides to bail out of this vehicle. This is interesting turns that he's been making here. And these streets are getting narrow.
He's picking roads. He's making these moves. It looks like it's coming to a stop right there. Another door popping open. More people inside there, but take a look who's behind him. That's going to be the undercovers from earlier on. Right away. It's amazing how quick they stop when they have law enforcement right there in their face. They're out of that car, out of their safe zone, then law enforcement, and they are on the ground so quick. Now that's an undercover unit, probably going to be one of the LAPD units it is one of the LAPD units from earlier on. This is coming to an end here in Downey. Thank goodness nobody was hurt in an alleyway out here, but not sure why he picked this spot to stop. Maybe he didn't see maybe because there were no lights and sirens on that and then undercover, he might not have thought that this was a law enforcement, but right now, I can tell you it is. They have two officers with their guns on them. These people are on the ground, but not yet in custody.
All right, Stu, well, we're glad that this has come to an end, and we will say a peaceful end so far. Those officers have their guns drawn, and we see those guys on the ground, and hopefully they will have them into custody very soon. So, Stu Mundell, great job as always. Thanks for that. We're going to move on here. This is an off-duty officer pulling a gun on a man, all because of some candy. The so-called Mentos mistake could have major consequences for the city of Buena Park. CBS 2's Jeff Nguyen is live at the gas station where it all went down. Jeff.
Pat, it was a mistake over a roll of candy that led to an off-duty officer pulling out his gun. The whole thing caught on camera at the store right behind us, and tonight the customer involved in this says he does not want what happened to go ignored.
Which of these? 119.
Security video clearly shows Jose Arreola paying for a roll of Mentos at this gas station store. He then puts the candy in his pocket before an off-duty Buena Park police officer walks in.
Hey, keep that back 15 seconds. Police officer. I paid for it. Put it back. Try stealing that. No, I just paid. Get your cash and leave. Hey, get your cash and leave. I just paid. Did he pay for this?
Yeah.
He paid for it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
My apologies, sir. My apologies.
The hardest thing for me was, believe it or not, it wasn't really the gun. It was his arrogance, his way of talking to me, treating me like a piece of trash.
Arreola says it happened on March 16th while his wife was sitting in the car. The couple filed a complaint the next day, which led to the discovery of the video.
We're not lying about what happened because that's how they've made us feel.
The Buena Park PD declined our request for an interview, but the chief posted a message on Facebook saying, "I want you to know that after I watched the video, I found it to be disturbing, as I'm sure it was to you. However, because there is an ongoing personnel investigation and potential litigation pending against the city, I am unable to discuss the details of our investigation.
You know who I am, right?
Yeah, I know.
The Ariolas say they don't want the officer fired, but they would like him to get better training.
There's a lot of good people, officers, but when one or two do bad things, it just reflects on the whole department.
And the Ariolas say that the police department will not give them the officer's name. In the meantime, they say they are hoping to figure out an out-of-court settlement with the city of Buena Park. Pat, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Jeff. If you're a Costco shopper, you already know the great deals on gasoline, toilet paper, electronics, and meat. But have you been walking past secret codes that could have saved you some money? CBS2 Suzanne Marquez introduces us to a consumer expert who shows us how to shop even if you don't have a membership.
Everybody going through the checkout line that has a loaded cart says, I only came in for one thing.
Consumer blogger Michelle Ashamala is a loyal Costco customer from Glendale who wanted to know if the secret hack she's read about online could help her save even more money. So we followed her inside with our smartphone camera to check it out.
You'll see that most prices end in 99.
The last 2 digits of the price can help you decide whether to buy now or hold off. For example, if it ends in 99, Costco confirms it's usually the normal price. If it ends in 97, that usually indicates a markdown. You may want to buy it today.
So this price tag has a 00 ending, which means it's a clearance item.
Costco confirms prices ending in double zeros most likely mean it's not coming back, so grab it.
These pants are $10, which is a fantastic deal.
When it comes to alcohol, Kirkland Vodka is rumored to be Grey Goose, but Costco denies this. Although they say their alcohol suppliers are confidential, they did disclose that in Los Angeles, their Kirkland beer is actually Gordon Biersch.
Another great deal at Costco is the Kirkland brand laundry detergent. It works out to 11 cents alone.
You may have to push your cart through to the back of the warehouse to reach one of their best deals, that rotisserie chicken.
It's $4.99, which is a fantastic price. And if you think about it, you pay for your membership if you get a chicken every other week.
Gift cards are a deal at Costco too. Instead of paying $100 for 2 $50 restaurant gift cards, you're only paying $70. You need a membership to get inside, and that costs $60. But did you know if you just want to buy alcohol, you don't need the membership? Costco says California is one of 16 states that allows this.
Another tip is if you're not sure whether you want to pull the plug and get a Costco membership, you can always have a friend buy you a Costco cash card. Then you're free to go in and shop at the store as if you were a member.
Another thing you don't need a Costco membership for? The cheap eats at the outdoor food courts.
The hot dog and drink are a fantastic deal at $1.50, same price they've been for 30 years.
A well-deserved treat before loading up the car and heading home with all your savings. Suzanne Marquez, CBS 2 News.
And did you know you can purchase an LA Metro Fast Track transponder loaded with $40 for $36? The transponders are for sale in the gift card section.
Wow.
Hey,
that's cool.
We learned something, right?
Yeah,
Barry?
I don't have a card, but a lot of times I go with Jim and I just get under a giant chamois and get in the cart, and he doesn't know.
Jim who?
Jim
oh,
Hill.
Oh, your friend Jim Hill.
My friend Jim Hill, my best friend.
Yeah.
He's coming up soon. All right, hey, breaking news. Good job with that chase, Pat. Everything ended quietly there. And for us, how about a hot day today? We're going to only heat it up again tomorrow. We're really getting up there. Get you out towards the pier. Look at that. It's a beautiful night out in Santa Monica. Temperature-wise, 65 degrees, super mild. Lots of low 70s all through the interior, upper 50s out towards Oxnard and Camarillo, where they're getting a little bit of an onshore push. Look at that, 90 degrees today, well above normal. High pressure's with us for another day before it starts to flatten out. This will take us into Sunday before we start to make the ridge go down ever so slightly. That low pressure area will start to sweep to the north. That'll help bring things down. But otherwise, a warm weekend. If you are traveling north, Pat and I were just discussing this. There's heavy fog up through the central coast. So if you're going up to Pismo or any farther up, you're going to run into that. Be very careful, especially if you're driving along the coast. All right, so here's the 7 days. 77, 90 downtown. The Valley's 95. We come down a little bit on Sunday, and then we kind of hold there for the interior areas and just kind of up and down a little bit. Not much. Not till Wednesday will we come down and start to bring things down through Thursday and Friday of next week. So we keep flirting with this ridge, Pat. Inland Empire tomorrow, 98. High Desert's 91. The mountains coming in at 71. Please remember your animals and your dogs. Do not leave them in a car. Very, very hot, and most importantly, have a great weekend, everybody. Pat, back to you.
All right, you too, Garth. Well, taking animal style to the next level, find out what inspired this young lady to go through a local In-N-Out drive-thru on horseback. Plus, the Dodgers made history with a franchise first tonight. Jim Hill has that and a lot more coming up in sports. And here's a look at the guests tonight on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Already following CBS LA on Facebook? Follow these steps to make sure you continue to see our stories on your news feed. First, click on the triangle pointer in the top right corner of your Facebook page. Select News Feed Preferences. Then click Prioritize Who to See First and select CBS LA.